Okay, so thank you guys for coming again to this training. I'm actually really excited about this product, and I feel like we launched it and then we haven't really had direction on like what to do with it or how to sell it. And I don't want this to be something that is like underutilized. I feel like that happened with um our last product. And why can't I forget the workout product? I love it, and I'm just blanking on his name. Y'all know what it is. Um,
Creatine.
Creatine. Thank you. I feel like we've kind of underutilized creatine, and I really don't want this to happen with this product because this product is like it's really impressive, and I feel like it could help a lot of people with a lot of things. And so I'm going to share my screen, and hopefully I can get this PowerPoint presentation up and going for y'all. Okay, now we will get started here. Okay, do y'all see everything okay there? The presentation? Okay, perfect. Um, so first, what is this protecting? Like, what is this product doing? So basically, it's protecting your gut lining. And we hear like leaky gut talked about a lot. It's something that it has been part of the discussion, I feel like, since I started Plexus. And ProBio 5, one of the big things that it did was helped with leaky gut, because the way it helps with leaky gut is by getting the bad bacteria out of your gut. And then ideally, your body's going to heal it on its own. But this is a product that's actually going to help that healing process like exponentially. Um, so your gut lining, if you have leaky gut, basically it's a holes in your gut lining, and your food is literally leaking out of your gut, causing like your body to have allergic reactions because it's like sees these things out in its bloodstream where they don't belong, and it can just wreak havoc on your health. So this is why leaky gut can be a really, really bad thing and cause all kinds of things. It can be as minor as like bloating, and it can be as severe as, rheumatoid arthritis or some real bad autoimmune issues. And so this is why it is really important and a really big deal to have a strong gut lining. So, what are some things that make your gut lining worse? So, it's important to understand some of the things that actually cause your leaky gut. And some of them are things that you may not think about that actually are things that are healthy, like running and cycling, heat. Actually, living in a hot area, if you're in Houston, just being in the heat in general can actually destroy your gut lining. Hot workouts, hot yoga. I love hot yoga so much, but this can be actually really bad for your gut. And the reason why like hot yoga, extreme workouts, all of these things are causing leaky gut is because it's taking the blood flow away from your stomach and it's going to other parts of your body. And that temporary blood flow away from your stomach is actually is what is causing the damage over time to your gut. Dehydration is a big cause of it. Let's see. Sorry, my little graphics in front of my things. I don't have multiple monitors like I'm used to, so I can't even read my own presentation. So basically like the intense workouts and Advil. That's another big one. A lot of people who are exercisers or fitness people sometimes will be taking Advil to like mask pain that they're dealing with. So we want to make sure our customers are really minimizing how much Advil they are using, because this can be a big target. So yes. So again, I just kind of touched on this earlier, but this is why hard training can hurt your gut, because the blood diverts from your gut to your other muscles and to your skin to cool you off. This is where it's all going. And because of that, it's starving the oxygen from your gut wall. And so and it starts to stress it. And this is why your gut wall starts to weaken from extreme exercise. And then once you calm down, once your body relaxes, the blood rushes back in and it kind of causes that swing, which causes an oxidative stress there in your gut. And this is some of the reasons why that barrier starts to break down and leak over time. So I know a lot of our clients are going to be if we're in the health and wellness field, we're going to have a lot of fitness buffs. We're going to have a lot of people who are focused on this. And this isn't always on our radar. You're thinking you're doing something good for your body. Sometimes you may see like athletes, I've seen this a lot, who are like running marathons and doing extreme things, and they cannot lose weight. Their body is holding on to it. And they think they need to pivot and try something different. And they need to like cross train, and they need to, their body's getting used to this one workout is what we were always taught. But really, this could be a big piece of that puzzle that's causing them to like their bodies to hoard weight because they have leaky gut, and that's also causing their insulin to be higher. It's causing them to be insulin resistant, and they're what's made in your gut? Your GLP-1 hormone and your GLP-2 hormone. You got leaky gut, your body's not creating those hormones correctly. So this could be a big piece of the puzzle why you have some people working out and not seeing results from that. They may be actually causing more damage than good. And one really cool thing about this product, which I'll talk about in a minute when I get into ingredients, but colostrum, and it is proven to increase that athlete caused leaky gut by 80%, to not increase it, by decrease it by 80%. And that's just one of the ingredients that helps it. Okay. So again, I think I'm kind of getting ahead of myself and talking about some of these things before I get to the slide here. But yeah, from inflammation and weight. So why leaky gut is causing this, which we just talked about that. So let's move on. So how to protect the gut around training. So if you have athletes, like how are we going to like help protect it? Make sure they're hydrated, get them on hydrate. You need those electrolytes. Make sure they're fueling, doing long sessions and not starving their body, and making sure they're not on Advil. But colostrum, here's where this cuts exercise-induced gut permeability by 80% in their studies. That is huge, y'all, 80%. But that's, again, one of our ingredients. Another ingredient that is also shown to reduce exercise and heat, reduce permeability, is glutamine. So we got both of those. So we got one doing 80%. I'm not sure the actual percentage that was shown in the studies on glutamine, but you got them. We got both of those together. This is really, really, really going to improve that for people. So this is a massive win for our athletes. Okay, so I asked y'all to be interactive, and then I haven't like taken a breath. So let me look in this chat. Jennifer. So Jennifer asked, could this work? And if you want to speak up and ask it out loud, like why don't you say it out loud so people who listen to the recording can hear it?
Yes. So I'm wondering if it can work or if it would work in reverse, because one of my issues is my body, and I think Tammy might have this issue too, or has talked about it before. My body has trouble absorbing nutrients properly. And it's one of the reasons why I have not been able to gain weight in my adult life or my whole life, basically. And being on the products like Probio5 specifically has helped me slowly start to gain weight, but I still have that weakened gut lining. I've had it since I was 18 years old. And I'm wondering this, like healing that is going to help me like work normally
I mean,
and be able to gain weight.
Yeah, I mean, I would think a big piece of that is probably your gut lining issues, right? And like that's why you're not absorbing the nutrients. So I'll be really excited to see your long-term results on this product. So that could
And then
be a
my other
huge.
question was, is it just Advil? Because you specifically mentioned Advil, or would it be like Aleve and like other anti-inflammatories as well?
I mean, I think Advil is one of the most used and most known, but yeah, I definitely
Okay.
think Aleve and the other anti-inflammatories are going to
Okay.
be causing the same issues.
Okay.
Does anybody else have any thoughts so far? Okay, so let's go through the ingredient lineup and like really kind of break them down. Here they all are at a glance, what we've got going on. And so of course we get this product and we know it's colostrum. And I think people are thinking just colostrum, but it really is a lot more than just colostrum. So, but first let's talk about the colostrum. So this is kind of the all-star of it. It is an A2 colostrum. So why this is important is our bodies actually can handle A2 better than A1. So A1 is typically what causes people to have lactose intolerance. A2, you're just standard lactose intolerant person can handle A2 better. So if someone has an actual dairy allergy, now this is probably going to be a hard no for them, but if they are lactose intolerant, they might be fine on it. Just have them test it with the small amount, start really, really low. But again, I know I told y'all on the last call, my daughter, who is lactose intolerant, has had no issues with it. She does great. So I'm hopeful that we're going to see that with more and more people because of it being an A2 colostrum. Um, so it does have the growth factors in it. So we have the IGF and the IgG growth factors. Now, this is the one thing that can be kind of heat sensitive. And again, we talked about this before. Anything over 140 degrees, it is going to destroy those growth factors in this product. And so the growth factors is basically what we're using to repair the lining. Originally, when I was testing it, I was putting it in my coffee. I like it in my coffee. It's a creamer. And I was thinking, I'm still noticing results. I'm still seeing results. And now the more I'm researching it, I think I was still seeing results because I was seeing results of all the other ingredients, but I'm afraid I was actually killing off those growth factors. So I, it's hard because it actually tastes good in your coffee because it's like a little natural creamer, but we really are risking the chance of damaging those growth factors. I think it's best to not put it in something hot. If you really want to get the full effect of this, which you do, we want to be careful in how we treat it. Try dry scooping it. I've been trying the dry scooping. It's not, I can't do a whole scoop. It's a lot, but I'll do like it in three little dry scoops, take it with some water. It's been working good that way. So it's an easy way to get it down and not have to mix it with things. It also mixes good with some of our drinks. Especially I usually mix like two things together. I'll do like hydrate and active together. And so when I put it in with something that's kind of stronger like that, then it tends to do better. Um, so But so yes, best human evidence of the formula for sealing a leaky gut barrier. This is one of the products that's known for this. It actually really is effective at healing that gut barrier, and there's lots of studies around it you're going to find. The L-glutamine. This one I'm actually really excited was added. So one thing I have noticed over the past couple days, I've told y'all in some of the past calls and that, January I had pneumonia. I was on antibiotics for the first time since college. I was on steroids. I was on, all kinds of medication that just completely just wiped all of my hard work of my gut. It wiped it completely out. And I'm starting noticing some symptoms again that I had before starting Plexus. So my IBS is kind of returning. Okay, so real quick before now, I'm going back into this and looking at the chat real quick. I just realized, so I'm going to stop real quick what I was saying and look at this chat. Um, so okay. So Kelly said that her hubby put it in coffee and saw no more heartburn. Probably because the ingredient that's helping with heartburn isn't necessarily those growth factors. And I'll get to that in a minute, which I'm actually super excited for it for GERD and heartburn and indigestion. And can we say the words healing the gut lining? I have no idea, Jennifer. I wish I knew the answer to that. Definitely going to be saying it in private, but I'm not sure if we can publicly. I'm not the best to ask about compliance questions. But yes, it is going to be. Oh, maintain. Tammy said we're supposed to say maintain the gut lining. It's healing it, guys. Which is super exciting. Okay, so yeah, so I was on the antibiotics. My IBS has kind of had returned. I feel like I can successfully say had now. I haven't had any symptoms since starting back on this. And my worst more than anything was my sugar cravings returned back to how I was in high school. And Tammy can attest to this. When I have sugar cravings, they get a little out of control. I act like I'm like a 8-year-old child in a candy store with like zero restraint. And I tend to like the worst ties candy everywhere, she says. My nickname was Skittles in high school because I always had Skittles on me everywhere I was at any given time. Anytime I would eat something savory, I had to follow it with Skittles. And I've kind of gone back to that lately, and I don't know how to stop it. I didn't know how to stop it. And if you've ever struggled with an actual like I don't like desserts. I'm totally fine without desserts and things like that. But I want like straight like pixie sticks. Again, like an 8-year-old child let loose in a candy store. And when you have, it is like a cocaine addiction. You know, it is like, I don't know how to stop it. I'll do fine all day long. And then the sun sets and I'm like, I can't go to bed without candy. And it's usually the last thing I eat before bed. It's awful. Like, it's awful. I know. Jennifer's shaking her head. I am a horrible example for a health and wellness company right now. But like, I didn't have the struggle for forever. And then all of a sudden it has come back with a vengeance. A couple nights ago, I just realized like I had sounds like parasites. Yeah, it's something. It's something. Yeah, 100%. And so I have this bag next to my bed of my freeze dried Skittles, and I realized bag's still half full. And I'm like, I'm looking at it, and like, you know the difference. Like, have y'all ever like loved candy and then not like candy, and you taste it and you're like, this tastes gross. This is like chemicals. Why do you like the flavor? And then when you do like it, it's like this is the best thing ever. It's so hard to describe how sometimes candy tastes so good, and sometimes it tastes. I can't. I don't believe you for potatoes, Tammy. I can't. I'll never not love potatoes. Stop with that. I can't. Okay. But I'm proud of myself for all of a sudden, like I looked at it and I'm like, okay, this doesn't sound good. And then I realized it's been 3 nights and I haven't had candy. And it's not like I haven't like told myself sometimes I won't have candy, but I'm sitting there like bare knuckling it, like, don't eat the candy, don't eat the candy, don't eat. Like I haven't thought about the candy. And I realized the only thing I've changed is this. So of course I'm going over to oops, I didn't mean to change slides. How do I go back? How do I go back? Oh no. No, I'm just like going all the way through this. I'm so sorry, all. How do we start from the beginning? Okay, from beginning. Here we go. Let's go back because I want to go over this. I'm going to get to my point in just a minute on this glutamine. Um, so I go to, I went past it again, didn't I, y'all? I go to ChatGPT to talk to him about it. Tammy's laughing at me. And was like, what in this is helping me with my sugar addiction? And there are like all of these studies about glutamine helping with sugar addiction. And I had no idea. And so I'm like, I really think this is one of the secret ingredients that are helping with that for me. I'm sure it's also the gut lining issue. I'm sure it's the two paired together, but this is really used by practitioners to blunt those carbs and sugar cravings. Of course, it's usually used in higher amounts when it's doing that. But I do think the amount that in it was just enough for me to notice a massive difference in those cravings. So if you have a client that's like, this is something they're coming to, they're like, I can't stop eating Skittles before bed. Be like, I know someone who else also had that problem. Try this product because it could be helpful for you. This is also one of the products that helps with IBS. Can I take during a reset? I would think so, 100%. I think it would actually be really good to have during a reset. So yeah. So this is also one of the ingredients that help with IBS along with the colostrum. I love that this is paired in there with it. I really do. I think that this is one of our powerhouse ingredients in this product that we're going to see lots of benefits from. So now let's move on to the next one, which is the licorice and the marshmallow root. So this is the one that's really helping people with indigestion, with GERD, with acid reflux. The licorice, one important thing to know, if somebody comes to you and says, I'm nervous about the licorice ingredient, the DGL, this is the DGL form. That means this does not raise blood pressure. Some licorice raises blood pressure. So if somebody comes and says, is this the type of licorice that raises my blood pressure? It is not. This is the good form of licorice, so we don't have to worry about that. This actually helps your lining make more of its own protective mucus. And so this is why it has there's lots of studies and history here with reflux and indigestion. So this is a big one for people, especially with reflexes. I feel like it's something that people just silently struggle with. And once they're used, it's miserable if you do. And then they just start taking the medication for it. And long term, that can tear up your gut lining, which just makes your reflux worse, which just makes you need more of it. And it's this vicious cycle for people. So this is exciting on this. The marshmallow root also helps it. It helps gut your lining, and it helps you make that mucus that you need to reduce the reflux. So this is a big win. So these are your antioxidants, the naringenin. I'm not sure how to pronounce these words, but these are your antioxidants in the product. It's always good to have antioxidants in all of our products. It just helps with lowering inflammation. It helps with oxidative stress. It's just an extra defensive layer in the product that is going to help make this just a more well-rounded product that helps with our immune system and our gut lining. Then we have a prebiotic in it. We have I don't know how to say it, acacia fiber. I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce it. I meant to Google that and I forgot. Um, but it's a prebiotic. So basically prebiotic, it is food for the good bacteria in your gut. So this is just going to but it's a prebiotic that is known for being, for not increasing gas in your gut. Some prebiotics can make you gassy. So this is one that is actually known for being slow fermenting and doesn't produce that gas. So it helps reduce bloating in your gut. But it's still a fiber. So it helps with that. Now the postbiotic. So this is something that it kind of took me a little bit to wrap my head around a postbiotic. Like, what exactly is this? Because we know what prebiotics are, we know what probiotics are, but what are postbiotics? And there's kind of two different things that a postbiotic can be. And I think that's another thing that kind of makes it confusing. A postbiotic can be what is left over from a prebiotic, like what a prebiotic makes, like butyrate is a postbiotic that your body creates. But it can also be like leftover bacteria that has been heat treated and basically killed. So, and that's what we have in ours. So basically, it's taking that good bacteria and they're heat treating it so that it is preserving its form, but it's actually killing the bacteria. So it's not alive. But it's actually beneficial for your body. And here's why. So here's kind of a layout that talks about why it's beneficial for postbiotics. So the cells in your gut wall encounter the bacteria when they see it, and they can actually, since the bacteria has been preserved, it can read its surface and recognize that it is the bacteria, which actually sends off like an alarm in your gut that helps calibrate your immune response. And it basically says, oh, hey, here's bacteria. Let's ramp up our immune system a little bit. And this is what's helping people with colds. And allergies and things like that. And so I am really excited about this to help with colds, and see how this improves. I'm coming off the tail end of a cold. I always have struggled with being very susceptible to catching colds pretty easily, even when my immune system is really stronger and I didn't have issues with any other sickness. For some reason, a cold is something that I tend to be more susceptible to. And so I'm excited to see how this helps with that. Okay, so let's talk about the GLP. They talked about this a little bit at a convention about how this product helps with the GLP-2 hormone. But let's talk about the GLP-1 and the GLP-2 hormones together here. So let me check the chat real quick before I dive into this, see what else I missed here. Would this be something you want to take more of if you feel like you're getting sick or have a cold? I say yes. Okay. So that's something I forgot to actually research on this when I was doing the research. There's so many like questions and thoughts I had as I was reading through this, but I know that on other colostrums, it is recommended to kind of start with loading doses and start with like 3 or 4 servings a day. I think it's the Armour, whatever that other brand is. Then you could take up to 4 or 5 servings of it a day, which would get kind of pricey, I think, on any colostrum. But I think it's something that definitely, it's not something that you can if you are really struggling with something and you really want to see the benefits, I would 100% think I've been doing 2 a day right now. I might even do more actually now that you say that. It's probably not a bad idea for me to up it just even a little bit more. Um, so that will be, I think things are like this are something that we're just going to have to keep like kind of researching, learning, and kind of trial and erroring and see like what is working with us, what's working with our clients. So let's talk about the GLP-1 and GLP-2 hormones. So these are hormones that are made in your gut. So if your gut is leaky, it's probably not doing a very good job at producing these hormones, which is probably going to cause you to have, weight issues, metabolism issues, and some other issues. Oh, I did it again. Why do I keep switching, y'all? I'm sorry. Like, why do I not know how to use a laptop? I swear, I've like been using a desktop my whole life. I'm not a laptop fan because I feel claustrophobic, like I feel confined. Here we go. I'm going to go through this slowly. Let's get back to the slide. Did I pass it? Okay, here we are. I will not touch it. So these hormones are made in your gut. In convention, they talked about the GLP-2 hormone and how this helps your body create the GLP-2 hormone. Well, here's a fun fact. GLP-2 cannot be created without GLP-1. They are created together and they are split at creation. So there's no way your body's going to create GLP-2 and not create GLP-1. I don't know if this was something that they just couldn't like claim or what the reasoning behind that was, but when one hormone is made, so is the other. They are sister hormones. They are created together by your L cells, and then let me move this. Yeah, and then they're cut from the same parent molecule and released together when the food activates it. So the GLP-1, what it does is it does not stay in your gut. It's created in your gut and then instantly goes to other parts of your body to help curb the appetite, to help steady blood sugar. Of course, it's the famous one that we've all heard of because of the weight loss shots, but it's made in the gut and it acts on the pancreas and the brain. The GLP-2, while they're made together, it stays in your gut. This is the one that tells the lining to grow and seal itself. It tightens the junction. It lowers that permeability in the gut lining, and it works through growth factors, which the colostrum is supplying. So this is why this is important to know. This product is actually helping us increase that GLP-2 hormone in our body, but it's also increasing the GLP-1 at the same time. So just saying, this could probably pair really well with the GLP-1 combo. So now we can move on to the next slide. So how your gut makes its own hormones. So let's kind of look at the process of how that works. So the acacia fiber, I think that's how you say it, probably not, feeds your gut bacteria. Then that bacteria ferments in your gut and it makes those shorty chain fatty acids. Those fatty acids trigger the L cells and your L cells release the hormones. And that, again, everything is in front of my screen, is what helps rebuild those linings. The lining grows and reseals, and then the colostrum growth factors and the glutamine fuel it. So that's kind of the whole process of how that works with the GLP-1 and the GLP-2 hormones. Any questions on that? Does that make sense? And I can send you the PowerPoint, Tammy. You don't have to take pictures of the screen. Okay, so now what it means for your natural hormone support and craving. So this is probably, again, like I said, this is going to be helping increase that GLP-1 hormone, but it's in conjunction with other things you're doing. In the beginning, it's not going to work the same thing as the shot instantly. It's not going to be something that you're going to honestly just see like right up at front. But over time, as we continue to heal things, the idea is that your body can do that on its own, that your body is able to. Could I get the PP as well? Oh, yes, of course. I'll share the PowerPoint with anyone that wants it. I'll put it in the chat when we're done. But yeah, ideally, wouldn't it be a great world for anyone who is actually needing the shot to lose weight to be able to get off of it and their body continue to produce that hormone on its own without that? I mean, that is the ultimate goal, right? So that you can maintain your weight in a natural way and feel really good with no side effects. So it's going to help that GLP-1 is going to help with those cravings. It's going to help your steady blood sugar, which is also helping with Plexus Slim. So it's all working together, right? Um, so that's what's really cool about this product. It just fits in perfectly with everything else that we have. And here's why it all works together again. So the bacteria or the prebiotic feeds the bacteria. We have the glutamine and the colostrum power to fuel those barrier cells. We have the licorice and marshmallow to calm and soothe the lining. And then we have the postbiotic and the antioxidants to protect the wall. And that's there to protect it and keep it strong after the soothing. So that's kind of how all of the ingredients work together in this product. Does that make
Nikki, I have a
sense?
question.
Yes.
The so when people get the GLP-1 shot, that they are chemically or synthetically being given the GLP-1. So does that mean that their body is, if they're just being given the GLP-1 and they're not given, because you said they were sister, like the GLP-1 and
Yeah.
GLP-2 are sisters.
Right. They're not getting the GLP-2 in that. They are
So
just
in
getting the
this
GLP-1.
situation, they're getting both, and that
Yes.
is a huge difference
Yes,
between the two.
exactly.
Okay.
For sure,
Okay.
definitely. And that's a really
Okay.
good point because, yeah, and that's why I think sometimes with the GLP-1 shot, the people are seeing a lot of stomach negative side effects with that because those hormones are intended to be together and to be produced together. And then suddenly it's not being produced together. You're just getting
Hmm.
one of them and not the other.
Yeah.
So that's a really good
Okay.
point.
Okay.
And why this could be an excellent product for somebody who is on the shot and doesn't want to get off of it because it really is changing some people's lives. You know, there are some people that have struggled with like massive weight that it has been helpful for. So I don't want to completely diss it, but this product is exactly what they need. So so who are your ideal customers? I really think people on the shot are one of them. You know, let's just be honest. That's not forget about that market. I think sometimes we tend to, being in the natural health world, want to diss that, but it's here and it's kind of here to stay. And I think we need to recognize that. And so I think they are a perfect customer. Your hard training athletes, these are really, really good ones. There is actual scientific studies that this is going to help people. Sugar craving strugglers. So I am proof. And I think the thing that is so cool about this product, y'all, is you don't need to be on it for like 90 days to see results. And Jennifer can attest to this too. Like, I mean, it literally, you see results so freaking fast on this. It's almost like mind-boggling to me. So your natural health seekers, anyone who has bloating or sensitive guts, IBS, I get every cold, people with rashes, skin issues, this could be huge for that because that tends to be a leaky gut thing. Trying to think of some other things that might also not be included here. Yeah, like Tammy says, not compliant but autoimmune issues. All of our this is big for our autoimmune crowd, which includes a lot of different things. So this could be really, really big. So I think that is the end of my presentation.
I was surprised at convention, which was it was a beautiful like presentation when they introduced it, but the two that they were talking about autoimmune, and she was even mentioned celiac and all these things. I'm like, I can't believe they said that because
Yeah,
when I spoke at convention, like I wasn't even allowed to say inflammation. Like I
right.
couldn't say like it helped with my back, like my like they like you have to get it. You can say it, but you can't say it like that. And they like said the words.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, oh, okay, we're saying the words. All right. That's why I asked. I'm like, can I say healing the gut? Because I feel like maybe in this instance, because of what it is, we can.
I
I don't
know.
know.
I feel like
It's a
we
question I
definitely need
have.
more direction. So I will see if I can talk to someone at corporate on that because we need more
Okay.
direction on what we can say on this product, especially, you know, like you were saying, like you had gotten in trouble for saying GLP-1 a couple of weeks ago. Like
Hmm.
we should be able to be
Yeah.
saying that now. So the things we
Hmm.
need more clear direction on what we can and can't say publicly.
Okay.
So Holly asked if someone isn't seeing weight loss with Slim and Trim, do you think this might be what's missing? I mean, I definitely think it can be a big part of it because I do think, like I said, with that, with especially if you have any other maybe leaky gut symptoms that you are struggling with, um, because of like I just feel like that connection between leaky gut and holding on to weight and being insulin resistant is very strongly linked. And so if you could heal that gut lining, you could stop being insulin resistant, which that insulin resistance is what's preventing you from like producing that GLP-1 hormone. And our products are supposed to naturally help you produce it, but if you're not fixing the problem that's keeping you from producing it, the things that actually naturally help you might not naturally help you. So that's a really good point. This could be why for some people Slim and Trim is just magic, and for some people it's been a slower go. So that would be really interesting to see if people just started with a month of this first, if they would see totally different results on their Slim and Trim. Yeah.
Question. I also think that with a slim microbiome, because you have that
Oh,
host of people who can't do it.
yeah. That's
I
a really good
wonder.
point. I wonder how they'll do on microbiome now if they did this. Yeah,
Mhm.
that is really interesting. Anybody else have any thoughts or feedback, questions?
Hey, when you end the call, I want to ask something,
Okay.
or just stop recording.
Okay. Okay. We'll stop.